A very warm and pleasant good morning to all my dear students of class 5. So today I'm going to start a new lesson in your social studies. The name of the chapter is Democratic Republic of Congo. You all can have your book page number 46 for the reference. Okay, so we are going to learn about a country called Congo, and the spotlight for the chapter is location and relief of the land, plants and animal life, lifestyle of a people, economy and transport. So this will be the highlight of the chapter. We are going to learn about all these things in the chapter. So let's start with the introduction about Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo was formerly known as Zaire. This was a country which was previously it was known as Zaire, and later on it has been named as Democratic Republic of Congo or Congo. Okay, it is located between 5° north and 10° south latitude. It is third biggest African countries with regards to area. With regards to area in the African country, Congo is situated in African countries, and with regards to the area, the amount of area it has, it is the third largest among all the African countries after Sudan and Algeria. Sudan is number 1, Algeria is number 2, and this Democratic Republic of Congo is in the third number in accordance with the area. It covers an area of 23.5 lakh square miles. Almost 33% of the country is located in the northern hemisphere, and the rest falls in the southern hemisphere. So it is total area is 23.5 lakhs, and in this 23.5 lakhs, 33 of the land area is located in the northern part, and the remaining is located in the southern part, southern hemisphere. It is bordered by Central Africa. It is bordered by Central African Republic and South Sudan in north, Anglo and Zambia. So this country is bordered by many other countries, like it is bordered by Central African Republic and South Sudan in north, Anglo and Zambia in south, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Burundi in the east, and Republic of Congo in west. So these are the country which borders this area. Okay, so let's move on to the next now. Main features of the land. We are going to learn about main features of the land, and the first topic amongst that is location. So we'll find out where exactly this country is located. Democratic Republic of Congo is located in Central Africa, and equator passes through it. It's located in the Central Africa and equator passes through it. Its capital is Kinshasa, is located on Congo River. The capital of Democratic Republic of Congo is Kinshasa. Democratic Republic of Congo is almost a landlocked country. What is a landlocked country then? Landlocked countries are those countries, it is a territory that does not have any connections with the ocean. It is not connected to any of the ocean. Like this country, all those countries which has no connection to the ocean, they are known as the landlocked countries. So this Congo does not have a connection with any of the oceans, so it is a landlocked country. And you have to remember that in Congo is in Central Africa, located in Central Africa, and equator passes through it, and it is a landlocked country. You have to keep these 3 points in mind. It's very important in location part. Okay, so now let's move further. Relief of the land. Now we'll learn about the relief features of the land. You know what is relief features, right? Physical features. We have learned about this in the previous chapters. So the relief features of Democratic Republic of Congo are quite similar to India. Its relief features is quite similar to India. Why? We will know about it. There are 3 mountain ranges, coastal plains, high plateau, major valley, and a large river basin called Congo Basin. In fact, River Congo is regarded as the most important river in the country. Okay, so India is also a land of diverse features. India is surrounded by mountains, plains, hills. It has everything in it, plateaus, everything. Like it is not plain on all the areas. There some are hilly areas, some are plain, some has plateau. So it has many features in it. So Congo is also like that only. Its physical features, really features is somewhat similar to India. So why? Because it has three mountain ranges, coastal plains, high plateaus, a major valley, and a large river basin called Congo Basin. In fact, River Congo is regarded as the most important river of the country. And the river, along with its tributary, is a major modes of transportation and extreme economic importance. Why is River Congo important? Because it helps in the boosting the economy of the country. It is a major, the river along with all its tributaries, it's a major transportation and extreme economic importance. It has lots of economic importance. Why? Because major transportations are done through this river. Okay, its major tributaries. What are all the tributaries? They are Kasia, Sanga, Upangi, Urvimi, Lulonga. Lulonga, it is also called the Highway of Central Africa. It is also known as Highway of Central Africa because all the major economic activities, transportation, everything is done through this river. The eastern part of the country has many lakes. So the eastern part of the country, it has many lakes also, like lakes like Lake Albert, Lake Edward, and Kivu. Since Democratic Republic of Congo lies in the equatorial region, it receives heavy rainfall throughout the year. The equator passes through Democratic Republic of Congo, so it is also known as the equatorial region. And there is, as it is an equatorial region, there are heavy rainfall throughout the year. The climate is conducive for the growth of dense and thick forests. The climate out there are favorable for growing of thick and dense forests. There are lots and lots of trees and it is dense. Okay, and there is hardly any soil erosion, and soil is thoroughly nourished by humus. Okay, so there is hardly any soil. Where there are lots of trees, there is no chance of soil erosion, you know that. Because why soil erosion occurs? When we cut down lots of trees. When we cut down lots of trees, the roots, why we have to prevent soil erosion? How we can prevent soil erosion? We can prevent soil erosion by planting more and more trees. I have explained you in the previous chapters also. Soil erosion can be prevented only by planting more and more trees, because the roots of the trees, it holds the soil and it does not allow soil erosion to occur. So here there is no chance of soil erosion in Congo because it lies in equatorial region. There are heavy rainfall throughout the year, and it gives favorable condition for growth of trees. So where there are lots of trees, there is no chance of soil erosion, and there is hardly any soil erosion, and the soil is thoroughly nourished by humus. What is a humus now? Humus are formed by decomposition of leaves and other plant material. There are lots of, as we have discussed, there are lots of forest and there are dense forests there, and when those leaves from the tree, it falls and it gathers in the land, it decomposes and becomes a very fertile kind of like material which helps in growth of a plant, and that is known as a humus. Humus are those which are formed by decomposition of leaves, decaying of leaves and the plant materials. It is all organic. That is known as humus. Humus are those which are formed by decomposition and decaying of the plant material. Okay, so now let's move further with the climate. We will find about what kind of climate is there in Congo. Now let's find about the climate of Congo. Since the Democratic Republic of Congo lies in equatorial region, it receives heavy rainfall throughout the year. It is also extremely hot throughout the year with no much changes in summers and winters. Here the days and nights are of equal length. Okay, so as you all know, Democratic Republic of Congo, it is located near to the equator, passes through it, so it is an equatorial region. So because it is an equatorial region, there is heavy rainfall throughout the year, and it is extremely hot also throughout the year. There is not much change in the temperature. The temperature are same in the summers also and in the winters also, and the day and night, the length of the day and night are same in Congo. We do not witness here that kind of climate and that kind of day and night. Here in the summer, there are shorter nights and longer days, and in winters, there are longer nights and shorter days. But as it is near to the equatorial region, the nights and day are of equal length. Okay, so owing to the year-round high temperature, there is plenty of evaporation. There is, weather is hot, there is lots of the weather is very hot, and there is rainfall also. Because of that, there is lots of evaporation. This means that the cloud builds up on a regular basis and it rains. And you know, when evaporation occurs, there is rainfall. So this happens almost every evening. This happens almost every evening. Every evening there is rainfall. Almost there is a rainfall. This rainfall is called 4 o'clock rainfall. The morning are normally pleasant with lots of sunshine, and the evening and nights are cool because of the heavy shower. Okay, so this temperature is same throughout the year, in summers also and in winters also. It is hot. Morning usually there is plenty of sun, there is lots of sunshine, and by the evening what happens, it starts raining. And what happened through that, from morning it is hot, the land is also hot, and suddenly and around 3 or 4 o'clock it starts raining, and it is also known as 4 o'clock rainfall. So what happens, the land is hot, the earth is hot, and when rain falls on it, the evaporation occurs, and every day the same cycle, it continues throughout the year. And lots of clouds, after when evaporation occurs, the clouds form and there is rainfall again in the evening. So this cycle continues like this only throughout the year. So now we will learn about the plant life of the Congo. Okay, so now we will learn about the plant life. The heart of the Congo basin is covered by thick forest called equatorial rainforest. The trees reach a height of about 40 to 50 meters. The bigger trees form a canopy like covering with their leaves, which cannot even be penetrated by sunlight. Due to this canopy, it is always dark over there. As you all know, it is this Congo is in the equator, passes through the Congo, so there is the heart of the Congo basin is covered with the thick forest, and it is also known as the equatorial rainforest. This area, it has a high tree which has a height of 40 to 50 meters. The bigger trees form a canopy. It forms a cover. Canopy means a cover. Okay, all the leaves, it comes together and forms like a cover, and from where the sunlight even can't enter. The sunlight also cannot be penetrated through it, means even the sunlight cannot enter through those leaves, because it forms a canopy. It is all piled up, and it forms a canopy kind of thing, and there even the sunlight cannot enter, and it is always dark in those areas. Okay, trees like eucalyptus, mahogany, ebony, and iroko provides timber. What is timber? Timber are those woods which we use for building houses. Okay, all these trees like eucalyptus, mahogany, ebony, and iroko provides timber. Rubber and palm trees grows in abundance. There are lots of rubber and palm trees there. We can find lots of rubber and palm trees there. Many medicinal plants also grow here, like cinchona, the source of quinine, a medicine used for curing malaria. So there are lots of other medicinal plants also, and more amongst all those medicine, the most important medicinal plants are cinchona. Cinchona are those which are used for curing malaria. Many types of edible vegetables and mushrooms are also grown in wild. As there are rainfalls throughout the year, you know, where there is rainfall, mushrooms grows there. So we can find lots of edible vegetables also, and lots of wild mushrooms also there. Okay, now turn the page. In the humid equatorial region, cassava or the tuber root, rice, peanut, groundnut, corn, oil palm, and fruit trees are also found in abundance. So it has very favorable climate for lots of things also, like in humid equatorial region, cassava, tuber root, rice, peanut, groundnut, corn, oil palm, and fruit trees are also found in abundance. So there are where there is lots of rainfall, there the climate is very favorable there. Okay, morning it is hot and evening it is cold, so the climate is favorable for growing lots and lots of vegetations also. The rainforests here are the second largest in the world, and also one of the thickest. So it is the rainforest. This is the second largest rainforest in the world, and the second thickest also, and one of the most thickest forest also. Since they remain green throughout the year, they are also known as evergreen forest. They never, the trees leaves, they never turn into some other color. It is green throughout the year, and it is also known as the evergreen forest. There are many grasslands in the southern and southwest part of Democratic Republic of Congo. And we can find many grasslands also, where there is lots of rainfall, grasses grows, and there are lots of crops also, there are lots of trees also. So it is all surrounded by greeneries. Basically, Congo, it is all around surrounded by greeneries. There are lots of trees, there are equatorial rainforest, and these forests are also known as evergreen forest because throughout the year it remains green. So we can find other things also, like there are many medicinal plants also. There are lots of other trees through which timbers are extracted, and there are lots of forest region, equatorial region, where rice, peanut, groundnut, corn oil, palm, all these things are also grown. So the weather out there are very favorable for many kinds of trees to grow, and many kinds of fruits, plants, vegetables to grow. Okay, then we will learn about animal life, people and language, economy and transport in our next video. So till then you all can read the chapter till where I have finished. You all can read the chapter and learn to pronounce those words which you find difficult to pronounce, because you should always revise after I finish the chapter. Till here you will revise, you will read the chapter, and you will understand what the chapter is saying, and the rest of the part we will do in our next video. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, follow your online classes regularly, be a good student. Hope we meet soon after this lockdown gets over and we will start our normal classes. Till then, follow the online classes regularly. I know you might face network problems sometimes, the video might not open sometime, but it is there saved in the YouTube. You can go and watch it whenever whenever there are favorable network for you to watch. But do not miss any of the classes, because it will be a problem for you to understand what we have taught. Okay, so do not miss any classes, follow your online classes regularly, be a good student. See you all in the next class. Have a good day, my dear students.